Hey kids, it's Mr. Fly here, hope you're well. It's early, very early, one Saturday morning, and it's a little bit wet under tyre, but this morning that doesn't matter because I'm going on a bit of training. I'm going up to a place called East Molesey in Surrey, just near Kingston-on-Thames, where I'm going to be meeting up with the Metropolitan Police to do their Bikesafe course, something I've been wanting to do for ages. So my understanding is there's a bit of a briefing, and some hints and tips about riding safety. Then there's a long assessed ride, and there's some feedback on how you do. So that's sort of basically what I'm expecting, but have you not done it before? We shall see. So if you're interested in the Bikesafe course, or indeed learning just a bit more about advanced training on motorcycles, then stick around and stay tuned. So the Bikesafe course itself is actually run by the sort of Bikesafe organisation, but the people that, or administered I should say by them, but the people that actually give the course, as I say, are Metropolitan Police officers. Of course they're not in the game of bike training, but they are of course very experienced and very professional motorcycle riders. So and they give up their sort of free time to do these Bikesafe courses, which is a day-long course, and it costs around £45. Lots of different police forces do them around the UK. It just so happened I chose the Metropolitan Police because that's an area that I'm quite near. And the day itself, as far as I'm aware, consists of an initial sort of classroom briefing and training session, talking about some sort of best practice for riding, and then out you go on a fairly long sort of assessed ride where you're followed by a police officer on his bike. And at the end of the ride he sits down with you and lets you know what he thinks of your riding and gives you a few pointers for maybe improving things. So that's what I'm kind of expecting. Really looking forward to it. I haven't had any training since I learnt to ride, so and you can never have too much training, can you? So it's going to be a really interesting day, I think. So let's find Imbercourt at East Molesey and head on over to the briefing session and see what that's all about. Okay, here we are, Imbercourt. I can see some police motorcycles. Looks like, actually looks like I can't in that way. Looks like they're gathered and waiting. Let's go and say hello to the chaps. Right, horn.
Right, do you left and right indicator?
A very warm welcome to Bikesafe. You've picked a very, very good day to do it. Probably the first good day I think we've had this year. You know, and here you are. You know, like you've had psychic powers to sort of say, yeah, let's have that one. Okay. What we're going to do is I'll go through a quick, brief introduction. But first things first. Who's done Bikesafe before? Anyone? Roster, fantastic. Well, this is what the purpose of Bikesafe is. It is to basically give you a bit of a taster as to what advanced training could look like, and hopefully we'll be able to encourage you to take a further training. Bikesafe was set up probably about 15 odd years ago by a couple of officers up in one of the county forces. London, very easy. Okay, so cracking on then. I'm going to talk about some juicy stuff in a second. It's about why collisions occur. Once I go through that, we'll then have a sort of 10-minute break or so. Now, throughout the day, we'll be stopping and we will be giving you debriefs. So you'll be paired up first of all. Now, I'll tell you straight off what the 5 main reasons are for where collisions occur. First of all, right turn violations. Can you see that? Yeah? That's one of the reasons where collisions occur. Second place where they occur is cornering and bends. Third place is overtaking. Fourth place is filtering. And the fifth place is group riding. Those are the 5 main causes of accidents on motorcycles.
Oh, God!
Riders going along.
Oh!
So you didn't consider that at all, did you? You didn't consider any of the junctions on the right and left. And that effectively is your right turn violation. Yeah? Most of these people will not see motorcyclists coming, and I'll talk about the reasons why they won't see motorcyclists coming. But often people will get out of their car and they'll go up to the motorcyclist and say, I'm really sorry, but I just didn't see you. You know. It's a very common term, especially around sort of central London. They almost call it, you know, Smidsey Central kind of thing. Now, before I go into the factors of why they don't see you coming, again, when I go and sort of often talk to these people and say, right,
So we've done the theory stuff. Now it's to put it into practice. So over to you then.
okay, gents, briefing is this. So first of all, we don't have any planes, so everything that we do will be done on indications. Alright? So if we are going along a straight piece of road and you come to a junction on your right, you'll be looking in your mirrors to see whether or not I'm indicating left or right. So that's quite straightforward.
Yep.
If we come up to a roundabout, which has more than say 4 options, so it's like a 5 option or 6 option roundabout, I'll be looking for you guys to look at the main road you're coming in on and where that road takes you on.
Sounds good.
Much more else. The only other thing I need to tell you is this. There will be times where I might ride quite close to you, so if you're not used to that, that might seem quite unnerving. It's the only way I'm going to be able to assess whether you're, you know, using your gears appropriately, braking appropriately for the situation, etc. If I'm too far back, I can't see. But remember.
Okay, so we're off. I've been designated number 2 behind Adrian once I get past Sonny. First challenge, catch up with these guys. Oh, a full foul at the first hurdle and overtake at a dodgy spot. It's pretty busy around this part of southwest London, so getting split up is a real issue. But luckily for me, this car's turning off. Right, so I'm not going to be doing a great deal of talking during this ride, because obviously I want to concentrate on being in the right spot with these guys. But it's going to be interesting to get the feedback from Sonny, because I haven't had any training since I did my test quite a few years ago now. And you never know, do you, when you're going to get into a bad habit. A little bit of rain in the air just to add to it. Now, we've been told very much to ride as we normally would do, don't do anything different to what we would normally do, because obviously that's how we get best feedback out of the assessment at the end. If you do things different, then of course it's not a true reflection on your riding, so I will just ride completely normally as far as I'm concerned, and we'll see what Sonny picks up. Quite excited about this actually. So as I understand it, there are actually 2 rides we're going to do. There's going to be this first one, which is kind of urban in town, and then after lunch we're going to do more of a country ride, and we're going to be assessed on each of those. I assume that was for me to overtake. Yep, we're all good. Go around that way, okay. This going through town with no comms thing is got potential for hiccup. Lovely spot though, although I said I used to live around this way. Not entirely sure where we are, I'm a bit lost already, but it's all very nice. So I'll just sit back and enjoy the ride. Interesting to see that Sonny has got a showy Neotech helmet on. I don't know if they're standard police issue. Right, switch over that means. So that means I've got to come past. Okay, now I've got to keep my eye on Sonny's indicators. And I immediately don't quite know what the speed is here. So I'll do 35 just in case. Oh, it's 40, all right. Right, behave yourself now. Well, there's a speed camera there. But I can't see any repeater signs, so I'm assuming it's 30 here. No, it's a 40 actually. Noted the little repeater. Did that, so Sonny's aware that I know it's a 40. Right, definitely a bit of the world that I don't know where I am. It's a 30-mile-an-hour limit. Sonny's not indicating, so straight on. It's weird how when you have somebody in authority with you, you feel somehow safer, just because he's got a bike with the police paintwork on. Still not indicating, so I assume straight on. Wow, 14.5 degrees out, that's incredible. It's the warmest it's been for a long time. And it's gone lunchtime, I see. Let's hope Sonny's got a good spot in mind for a spot of lunch. Just saw some of our fellow bike safers go past. That's a 40. Okay, Sonny's just slotted in front of me because not quite sure where we're going. He's just going to follow him for a bit. And as we're about to cross the M25, this is just near Egham. I recognise this bit. We're going to be getting out of some of that town traffic. Unless, of course, he's taking us to Windsor, in which case it could be busy. Anyway, we shall see. It's good fun, this, actually. It does just make you think a bit more about your riding. I know that the guy said, you know, don't worry, ride normal just because we're policemen, blah blah blah. But it does just make you think a bit about making sure you are riding within the speed limits and what your road positioning is doing and all the rest of it. It's good practice. Like it. Right, lunch break. So is this bike, other than the police accoutrements, dead standard RT, is it?
No.
Or do they tickle them up a bit?
It's actually called an RTP.
BMW have a factory unit.
Do they? Just for
Not
knocking
new
out the police
Berlin.
ones? Right.
They have a special one for all the emergency services around Europe.
So is it like special bodywork,
So
built-in panniers?
Yeah, so the panniers are different from what you normally get.
Yeah, yeah,
It's all
nice.
factory homologated as well. So
Yeah.
everything comes to standard. All the switchgear and stuff.
What about the lights? Are they all done by BMW?
Yep, all these lights done.
Yeah.
The only thing that we do is the radio.
Right. And is that different across Europe, presumably? Yeah. Right. So if we were out and a shout came up that you were the nearest guy, would you have to attend? How would that work?
Well, first of all, I'm on a radio channel where we're just talking to each other.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Yeah.
So no one's going to fuck. Well, having said that, a couple of the guys who are running a workshop out east have just come across from London.
Really?
So they
So yeah, you got
to
to intervene. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Well,
Nice,
just,
good stuff.
just goes to show.
Right, lunch break is over. We're on the road again, back out in the sort of countryside run. Had a bit of feedback from Sonny during the lunch break, and he tells me a habit that I've got is to use the gears instead of the brakes a bit for slowing down, which I entirely accept. I'll probably do that too much, so I'm going to use a brake here and now change gear and just be mindful of that. Now I don't know this area at all well. Oh, we're going right here. Happened to catch Sonny's indicator. Bit like I looked in the mirror at that point. Fair bit of water on the roads here, so I'm not going to go nuts. Because these roads look slippery to me. Nice road though. It's quite a narrow road this, even though it's quite twisty. It's one of those ones that actually positioning so that on the left hand bends I'm on the outside of the bend to see round. It's a bit tricky. Like there for example. Right, I'm not going to do any more chatting because I want to concentrate on the riding, and then we'll see what... Oh, we're going right here. See what Sonny has to say at the end of the ride. Right, we've just had another little switch over, and Adrian is ahead now, and Sonny's given me some feedback on my country ride, which is very interesting. Shame actually now in hindsight that I didn't record that. So a little bit of a talk about some road positioning that he'd spotted, and I made one or two little handling errors on a couple of corners and overtakes that I knew I'd done, but pleased to say that Sonny said that I was safe at all times, which is my main aim, of course. But a few little points that I can bear in mind, which is good, and of course it all gets written up later so I can ponder those. What I'm going to try and do now though is take these corners braking as little as I can. I'm just going to watch what Sonny's doing. He's right on the outside of the turns and uses his brakes very little, so I'm going to try and emulate that if I can. Anyway, all in all, I have to say I've really enjoyed the ride out, and it's always good to get constructive feedback, particularly from somebody who, you know, clearly knows what he's doing, as opposed to your mate down the pub. And thoroughly enjoyed this course, so look forward to getting the written feedback when we're done. So I've no idea where we are, but well, I say that, I know we're in Berkshire, and we're near a place, or in a place called Waltham St Lawrence, which is actually quite near the airfield that I fly from, but I don't know these roads at all. And we're on Adrian's assessed ride now, or the assessed country ride. It's been quite sporty actually, it's quite wet on the roads, and I tend to err on the very cautious when it's wet. And so, bearing in mind the words that was given to us earlier in the briefing of not to ride outside your comfort zone, I'm hanging back a bit, keeping out of any trouble. Right, it looks like we're heading back towards Windsor way. What's going on here? Ah, he didn't go that way. Go up here and wait. It's always the trouble with this sort of system. Somebody might misinterpret a hand signal. But hopefully we'll regain Adrian just here. Is he coming? Oh, we've got some flashing lights. It's exciting. Right, we're back together again. Right, I'm on now. Right, so I'm back on, and we're riding back to base. This is going to form part of my town ride, so let's see how this goes. Weather's looking like it could get nasty anytime soon. Right, I'm conscious we're in a 40 limit, so I'm going to go blatting by this van. Right, which way are we going here, Sonny? That way, okay. Right, I'm into a follow me situation now. I've had the tap on the back of the head, which means follow me. Probably because it's going to get a bit complicated on the roads, and I'm not sure on the route that we need to take back from here. Now that last bit of the ride I just basically rode as I normally ride, without really overthinking it too much. So it'll be interesting to see what sort of feedback Sonny has for me. Have we lost our man? Just looks like we might have done. Right, we're all back together again. I know where we are again. So we're almost back now. We're in Sunbury, just another maybe about 3 or 4 miles, then we're back at base and we get the write-up of our assessed ride. It's going to be very interesting to see what Sonny has to say. Woo! Okay, so we just had the final briefing session back at Imber Court, which was the police training place that we were based at today, and basically consisted of some information about where we can go for further training, IAM, ROSPA, that sort of thing. And basically, you know, one of the aims of the course, as the guy said, is that they'd like to see you on further training. And we got a goodie bag, that's always good. Anyway, so I've got about an hour or so's ride home now, and I can see if I can put some of what I learned into practice. So great day though. Thanks very much to the Bikesafe guys for doing that for us, and particularly Sonny, who's the police officer that I rode with. Had a great time, picked up some great little tips from him. Looking forward to reading the feedback, which I haven't done yet. That's been emailed to me. But if you ever fancy doing one of those Bikesafe courses, as I say, if you do it with the Met Police, it's 45 quid because it's subsidised by Transport for London. If you do it with other police forces, it's a bit more expensive, but I think it's only like 65, something like that. So it's by no means, for a day's training, it's certainly not expensive, and I thoroughly recommend it. It's been a really fun day. You can never have too much training, can you? Alright, so I hope you've found that of some interest, and I look forward to speaking to you next time. Until then, this has been the Missenden Flyer. Cheerio.
We'll get you in first, and then...
What's that one? Can I press that one?
They won't do anything.
What about that one?
That won't do much either, really.
Right.
You have to turn the key to get the sounds on.
What a shame.
Do you want to...
What fun. Great toys you have, don't you?